welcome sunny Oxford, Ohio. The second game here in the Miami Invitational here at Miami Softball Stadium. I'm Reed Malmstrom along here with Luke, Wes, Holly, and Luke. We are just moments away from seeing the #1 team in the country, the Oklahoma Sooners, facing off against the Louisville Cardinals. Luke, go ahead and take us through the Cardinals starting lineup.
Cardinals batting first as the road team here in this second game of the softball doubleheader. Corby Otis going to lead off in center field for the Cards. Easton Lotus batting behind her at second base. At first base, Hannah File hitting third. The cleanup hitter, Taylor Roby, the designated player, hitting fifth. Sarah Gordon, she is catching. Daisy Hess at short. Allie Alexander behind her hitting seventh. At third base, Madison Winkler hitting in the 8-hole and right, and rounding it out, Paige Girardi, left fielder for the Cards.
And the circle today for the Sooners, Alex Storako. Storako has been absolutely lights out this season. A 0.73 ERA, 12-0 record. She has struck out 83 batters and have walked 7. Temperature at first pitch here is 79 degrees, and we are underway as Storako misses upstairs. First pitch at 3:59. Storako was a transfer from the University of Michigan, where she struck out 300 batters last year in 200 innings. Comes back with the fastball to even it up at 1-1. Capacity crowd here at Miami Softball Stadium. They started lining up at 7 a.m. for the triple header. Otis comes in batting .438, 53 hits and 121 at-bats. She's got an OPS over 1.215. As Storako elicits a swing, and it's a pop out in shallow right field. Underneath, it's going to be Jennings for the first out. And with Jennings making that catch, let's go ahead and take you through the Sooners' defensive alignment.
The second baseman for Louisville, it's number 12.
And the battery with Storako is Hansen, Sanders, and Jennings over on the right side of the infield. Lyons, Brito over on the left side. Out in the pasture, Boone, Coleman, and Torres. Stepping in the batter's box, Easton Lotus. First pitch to Lotus finds the outside of the strike zone. Lotus coming in at a .283 hitter. Had a nice day yesterday against the Miami Redhawks. Louisville Cards won 12-4 in 5 innings against the host team here in the Miami Invitational. Storako misses on the outside. The 1-1 from Storako. Popped up here in foul territory. Underneath it will be Brito for the second out. So 2 batters, 2 infield pop-ups start the top half of the first inning.
Yeah, Storako this season's been a little more than a strikeout an inning, like you mentioned, but just nothing to barrel up in these first couple of batters. Just a ridiculous stat line for these OU pitchers. 1.3 is the highest ERA among the 4 that have seen time in the circle this season.
According to the preview that the Sooners put out on their website this week, they haven't given up a run in 33 1/3 innings. So they have been lights out. Hannah File steps in. File, a .337 hitter, has left the yard 6 times this year. She takes the 0-1 upstairs. Storako, 1-1 count. The Sooners will play the host team, the Redhawks, at 7 p.m. Redhawks got a 1-0 win over Oakland in the first game of the tripleheader. 1-2 is the count. Storako misses upstairs and finals in a nice hitter's count. File, native of Shelbyville, Indiana. So you didn't have to go too far to play for the Cardinals, as she can't catch up to that fastball, and the count is full Storako already listed 2 pop-ups in the inning. There she has the payoff pitch to Hannah File. File pops one in the air over towards the first base dugout, but it'll be out of play, so we'll do it again at 3-2. File formerly an Arkansas Razorback, and she can't catch up to Storako's heat. Clean top half of the first inning for the Sooners. We head to the bottom half here on Love and Honor Live. Welcome back to Oxford, Ohio. Slight breeze out to right center field. Bottom of the first inning. Luke, tell us how the #1 team in the country, the Oklahoma Sooners, are hitting today.
Tough batting lineup for this Oklahoma team to face off against the Louisville Cardinals. Jada Coleman will start things off atop the order for OU out in center field. Tiari Jennings hitting second at second base. Haley Lee, the designated player, hitting third. Alyssa Brito in the cleanup spot, the third baseman. She hits fourth. Kinsey Hansen hitting fifth and catching. Shortstop Grace Lyons hitting sixth. Alina Torres hitting seventh in right field. Sydney Sanders in the eighth spot at first base. And Riley Boone at the bottom of the order out in left field for the Sooners.
Sooners come in 37-1, back-to-back national champions. And in the circle today for the Cardinals
Number 24, Jada Coleman.
will be Taja Felder. Felder, 5 2/3 innings pitched this season, a 3.71 ERA, 1-0 record. She has struck out 4 and has walked 5. So Jada Coleman, left-hander, lays down a bunt, and it's a beaut as she beats it out at first. Beautifully executed bunt single to get things going here in the bottom half of the first inning.
Yeah, top hitter by average on the team. Can get it done any way you like. Perfect on stolen bases this year, 11 for 11. Definitely has the speed. That was not close. No throw.
We'll see if they challenge the Cardinals catcher, Gordon, and we'll take you through there after this batter, how they're aligning defensively. Jennings steps in. Takes the first pitch from Felder for a called strike. Jennings batting .433 on the season. Has left the yard 9 times. Jennings lines one out to right center field, and a nice play by Otis coming in to make the catch for the first out. Got a nice piece of it, but Otis was right there.
Yeah, just stroked that one out on the run. Otis came in a little bit, might have overran that ball slightly, but just fine to reach up and make that play.
So now we'll see Haley Lee. 11 home runs, .432 batting average. She's slugging .874. She stands tall in the right-handed batter's box. And out in front of the first pitch from Felder. 1 on, 1 away here. In there for a called strike, and Haley Lee finds herself in an 0-2 hole. from Kingwood, Texas, formerly at Texas A&M. Takes the 0-2 on the outside. Third-team All-American back in 2021. Collegiate Player of the Year and the top 25 finalists 2 times. And she murders the ball out to center field. The Sooners up 2-0. Haley Lee putting the boomer in Sooner, and Oklahoma takes an early lead.
Just a blast. Rarely do we see a ball hit that deep out to center. Might have hit the football stadium out there down the hill.
Yeah, there's a swamp out behind the center field wall, down the hill. And that was certainly a splash hit. So 2-0, and Alyssa Brito steps in to the batter's box. Felder misses upstairs.
Mentioned that swamp out there in left center. It is filled with softballs. Miami was one of the best home run hitting teams last year in the country. One of the teams ahead of them, though, these Oklahoma Sooners. I mean, all sorts of just ridiculous stats you could dig up from this dynasty run they've had over these past couple years, winning a couple national titles. No signs of stopping for this team.
Have made the College World Series 11 of the last 12 years. And the 2-0 finds the strike zone, 2-1. And Coach Gasso certainly has a well-oiled machine in these Sooners, and they show out. Mentioned at the top of the broadcast that the fans started showing up at 7 a.m. this morning. A good 9 hours before the Sooners played. 3-1's the count. And that'll go out in the left field for a base hit for Brito. So the sticks are out here in the bottom half of the first inning.
Yeah, falling behind these Oklahoma hitters is a recipe for disaster. Already seen one home run, but in a 3-1 count, a lot of room to work with that time for Brito.
Kenzie Hansen, another right-handed hitter. First pitch swinging, chops one out to third base, and she beats out the throw. Alexander moving to her left. Couldn't get it to File quick enough, and there's runners on first and second with one away.
Yeah, Alexander just getting a pat on the shoulder, a seeing eye ball. Thought she had that played pretty well, all things considered, coming across and swiping that one onto first. Got it out about as quickly as she could have, but Hansen just beat it out.
Grace Lyons, the starting shortstop, steps in. Lyons batting .364 on the season. First pitch swinging. This one goes out to Hess. Glove flips it over to Alexander. The force not in time as the speed of Brito beats out the flip, and the bases are juiced.
Sooners right fielder, number 40, Alina Torres.
Alina Torres steps in. Bases loaded. Torres, one home run on the season, batting .346, 15 RBIs, and an excellent opportunity to get some more. Torres, a transfer from Arizona State. She was Pac-12 first team a season ago. A chance to help out the #1 Sooners.
I think as a recruiter, you make your case in the transfer portal, getting some of these upperclassmen a lot easier when you're losing single digits every single year, single-digit games, and winning College World Series left and right.
One in 2021, 2022. Runners-up in 2019. Felder, the 2-0. Torres ahead, 3-0. Imagine the green light might be on. Brito on third. Hansen on second. Lyons on first. Felder misses the zone entirely, and she'll walk in a run. 3-0, and the bases remain loaded.
Obviously an unideal start from Felder. Just a little bit tough. It hasn't necessarily been that Oklahoma's been super all over. Obviously they've had some really good moments at the plate. A blast over the center field wall, but she drew a rollover, drew some weak contact in the infield a couple of times. It's just balls that were hitting the exact right spot by these Oklahoma batters, and now she's found herself in a whole world of trouble, and Oklahoma's already taken advantage. And they're going to chase her out of the game.
And it looks like they are going to get a new pitcher in the circle. So Felder exits the game, just one out into the bottom half of the first inning. We'll step aside, and we'll have a new arm to tell you about when we come back here on Love and Honor Live. Welcome back to the bottom half of the first inning. Bases are loaded, and Taylor Roby will take the circle for the Cardinals. Roby on the season, 2.22 ERA, 82 and 2/3 innings pitched. She struck out 49, walked 23. She's allowed 27 earned runs. At the plate is Sydney Sanders. Sanders, 217 hitter, looking to get the stick going here in the Miami Invitational. You're watching Love and Honor Live here on Chatterbox Sports. We see you all tuned in. If you be so inclined, please go ahead, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. It'll let you know when the next game's live. Sanders right back to Roby, gets a ground ball, and they double up. Ooh! Senna, the first base umpire, says no. The throw was not in time. So they get the force out at home. And out walks Holly April, the fifth-year coach for the Cardinals, to see what Victor Senna saw. A great comebacker. Roby comes in, gets the ground ball right to her, gets the out at home, prevents the run, but they can't turn two.
Number 0, Riley Boone.
So Sanders on first on the fielder's choice, and this is a base knock. Riley Boone to center field. Rounding third, heading for a home is Torres, and the Sooners are up 5-0. And Luke, that's where that questionable call at first base might come back to bite.
Yeah, it's a tough break. You get a relief pitcher in, you get a first batter chop right up the middle. It was a great decision to go home by Roby and the double up, but it's an Oklahoma team that's going to make you pay for everything that doesn't go your way, whether it's in your control or not.
And Coleman takes the first pitch for a called strike. She singled, came around and scored already this inning. They batted around. Coleman with 11 home runs, 29 RBIs, and OPS right around 1.5. It was that bunt single that got things rolling for Oklahoma. Coleman on the USA Softball Women's National Team's watch list. Played on the women's team. Awaits the 2-1. Roby missing on the outside. And the on-deck circle is Jennings. Coleman, an All-American a season ago. Well on her way to get back to that acclaim. 3-1's in there for a called strike, so says Flores, the home plate umpire. So the payoff pitch. Roby. Into Coleman, flared out to shallow center field, and cannot come up with it as Hess. 2 runs will score as Hess had to backtrack over the shoulder grab, so close, in and out of the glove. Coleman goes into second, and you hear the Boomer Sooner chants as Oklahoma takes a 7-0 lead.
That ball was just poked. That's a really tough play for Hess to try and make over her head like that. And I think she might have come down on one of her arms a little bit awkwardly there. Nearly had it, but can't imagine that you're thinking she makes that play. That should be a base hit.
So it looks like Hess is going to stay in the game. Quick talk with her. Coach April went out. Talk with her starting shortstop. Already up 7-0 here in the bottom half of the first inning.
The second baseman, Tiare Jennings.
So Tiare Jennings coming back to the plate. Second time here in the first. She lined out to center field. You might recall, smoked a ball to center. Ball goes right to Hess. Backhands it, can't field it cleanly. And there'll be runners on the corner for Haley Lee. Seven hits already in the bottom half of the first inning. And you won't have to dig too far back in the memory bank to remember what Haley Lee did her last trip up. Home run number 12 on the season for Lee. Now leads the Sooners. They've hit 70 as a squad. Have only given up 15. Lee stands tall in the right-handed batter's box. Awaits the 1-0 that finds the strike zone, bringing the count to 1-1. Outfield with their heels at the warning track. Infield playing straight up. Runners on the corner. And the 1-1 misses on the outside. Haley Lee pops one up in the infield. Alexander's underneath it. She'll have it for the third and final out. But the Sooners come around and score 7 times on 8 hits. Most notably, that Haley Lee big fly. We head to the second inning. It's 7-0. Top of the second here in Oxford. 7-0 our score. Mouse along with Luke West-Poley. Luke, if you're Alex Storacco getting back in that circle, you got to look at the scoreboard and got to be pretty happy.
Yeah, and it's almost its own game, right? They talk about a lot what it's like pitching with big leads and what kind of difference in terms of mentality that you have to bring. You don't want to get too comfortable, but yeah, like you said, I mean, nobody can be too disappointed with showing up to the circle in the top of the second inning with a 7-run lead. Doesn't happen necessarily too often, unless I guess you are this Oklahoma Sooners team.
Now it's going to be Taylor Robbie. She's in the circle for the Cardinals, trying to help her own cause. Lead things off here in the second inning. Batting .354 on the season. Storacco had a painless first inning. Roby awaits the 1-1. Getting the sign from Henson. Misses upstairs. Capacity crowd here at Miami Softball Stadium. And a lot of Sooner fans, as our chat right now has a lot of Sooner fans. First of two games. We mentioned Louisville comes into today 25-13. Got a win yesterday over Miami. 12-4. And Roby with a leadoff walk.
Louisville's catcher, number 2, Sarah Gordon.
Storacco's just 8th walk of the season. And we'll see Sarah Gordon step in. Pinch runner out there for Roby.
The pinch runner for the Cardinals
Will be Vanessa
coming
Miller.
in to stand at first base now is number 9, Vanessa Miller.
So Miller on first. Gordon stepping in. Gordon, a .380 hitter. 46 hits and 121 at-bats this season. And she finds the outfield grass as it gets by Torres out in right field, rattling up against the wall. Holding up at third is Miller. And a walk and a double get things going for the Cardinals here in the top half of the second.
Yeah, Roby got delayed reaction to that from our vantage point. It was pretty clear that that ball was going to drop, but it looked like it might have been difficult for her to see whether or not that ball was going to be caught. She was off with the contact. She would have scored. At third base, Holly April really thought about sending her, but she probably would have been out. Just going to play it safe with nobody out, but Cards looking for a response here in the second.
First pitch to Hess, the shortstop. He's in the dirt, 1-0. Hess can't catch up to the heat from Storacco. And we're going to see if there was catcher's interference. No, just the backswing. Got Hanson. So runner on third, runner on second. And Hess goes chasing. Oklahoma has not given up a run in their previous 4 games. Beat LSU 3-0. Texas Tech 7-0, 6-0, and 3-0. Last time they gave up a run was against top 10 Texas. As the 1-2 misses up and away.
A run rule victory, I might add.
Right. Hess with 19 RBIs. And it looks like she'll get RBI number 20, as that's a great play by Lions. The double play opportunity, sliding in safe is Sarah Gordon. Lions over to Sanders. Sanders relaying it over to Brito after the out at first. But Gordon just sliding in safe. Louisville gets on the board at 7-1.
Yeah, that's a heck of a slide at third base by Gordon, coming around the bag from the back like that to avoid the tag. Overslid, almost actually came off. She slid so hard towards third base, but kept it on. And Louisville's got something here in the second.
Another runner waiting away at third, but that's not going to get Gordon in, as Allie Alexander pops up to Jennings in the infield for the second out. So now we'll see Winkler.
Number 6, Pickle Winkler.
Pickle Winkler comes in on the season, her 9th start. 10 hits and 25 at-bats, a 400 hitter. Facing off against one of the best arms in the nation. Winkler sits in the left-handed batter's box, and she's ahead in the count as Storako keeps missing up.
We referred to it a little bit coming into the inning. There's the challenge of having to sit in the dugout for that long, and yes, you do have the lead and you're very comfortable, but it's not being able to get into a rhythm, having to take some time off in between the 2 innings that you're pitching. It's difficult when you're in the circle. This hasn't been a bad inning by any means by Storako, but still trying to find that rhythm that she had in the first again here in the second.
Storako, quick meeting with Hansen, and she's towing the rubber once again. The 2-0 to Pickle Winkler. Fouled towards the first base dugout. We'll do it at 2-1. Winkler, a true freshman from Crofton, Kentucky. Now, when you sign to play Division I softball, this is what you sign up for. A top team in the country, chance to bring in a run as the 2-1 finds the strike zone. Storako on the 2-2. Thought she had it. Antonio Flores said no dice. So the count is now full. Checks her wristband for the pitch call. She's ready to rock. And Winkler fouls it straight back, so we'll do it again at full. Storako works with a bit of pace in the circle. Gets the sign from the dugout. Is in unison with Hansen. So the payoff once again. And Winkler's way out in front of the off-speed as Storako pulls the string. They leave a runner stranded over at third base. We head to the bottom half of the second. 7-1 our score.
1 hit, no errors, 1 is left on base.
Welcome back to Love and Honor Live here on Chatterbox Sports. We see you in the chat. Go ahead and like that stream. Helps it to reach a bigger audience and see how big we can get it. New arm in the circle today. It's Cassie Grizzard in relief for the Cardinals. Third pitcher this game already. As Louisville got a run back. Now they're looking to hang a 0 against the Sooners. Grizzard this year, this will be her 13th appearance. She has started one game. She's got a 4.96 ERA, 24 innings pitched, 28 strikeouts, 13 walks.
First to bat in the bottom of the second.
4-5-6 due up for the Sooners.
Number 33,
Melissa Brito, Kenzie Hansen, and Grace Lyons. Brito singled, came around and scored, as did most of the Sooner lineup in that first inning. Brito, wide open stance, takes the first pitch from Grizzard and misses on the inside. Brito fouls one towards the Louisville dugouts. Weekly. Brito awaits the 1-1 from the southpaw. Down the right field line, this is extra bases. Rounding first and heading for second is Brito. The relay not in time, as Oklahoma keeps it rolling here in the second inning with a leadoff double.
Number 9, catcher Kenzie.
This team knows how to hit flare shots, pushing the ball the opposite way. We've seen pretty much every way you can do it so far in this game.
Oh, the backpack or what?
Kenzie Hansen.
He's got the backpack.
Hansen singled her first time. Getting her 25th start of the season. Grizzard misses up and in. The senior from California hit 24 home runs 2 seasons ago. Has seen that production decline a bit, but still one of the best catchers in the entire nation. Hansen awaits the 2-1. Into center field, another hit. Rounding third, heading for home, and scoring is Brito. And Oklahoma captures back that run they sacrificed in the top half of the inning.
It just looks so simplified right now for Oklahoma at the plate.
Number 3, shortstop.
They know exactly where to put the ball, it seems like, every time they come up to the plate, situationally where the fielders are positioned. That time, a lot of space to poke that ball up the middle. That's exactly what Hansen does.
Lyons already with a hit, an RBI, and a run. Oklahoma has pieced 10 hits in this ball game. And this is a 180 from what we saw in the first game of this triple header. Miami won. They beat Oakland 1-0 on a game-winning hit in the bottom of the 6th inning. Lyons to left field. Garrity giving chase, and she'll be underneath it for the first out. Nice play by Louisville's left fielder.
Number 40, right fielder Alina Torres.
So 1 on, 1 away for Alina Torres. First pitch swinging, pops it into the Oklahoma bullpen. Sooners do have a pitcher up and working in the bullpen. Kirsten Deal getting some work in right now. So we'll see if Storako comes back out for the third inning. Torres walked her first time. 346 hitter. Takes the 1-1 in the dirt. The back pick. What a throw by Gordon. And Files tag right there, but not in time, as they say Hansen got back just in time. This time Hansen's going to run. The throw from Gordon on the money, but sliding in head first, just ahead of the tag is Hansen.
Yeah, that's one. It's a really good throw. If you could perfect it, probably want it to just inch right a little bit in front of the bag rather than perfectly on line with it, and then the runner's probably out. But a couple of close ones behind the dish from Gordon.
Torres out to right field, coming in to make the play. Winkler does on the run, and sliding into third after the tag up is Hansen. But there's two away, and you mentioned it, Luke. That was consecutive great throws by Louisville's catcher, Sarah Gordon. First on the back pick to first, and then the throw out to second base, just a hair late on the tag each time. So two away, and Sydney Sanders comes up. She was the hitter when that controversial play in the first inning grounded right back to Roby, in which Louisville looked like they had a double play to get out of the inning. They called Sanders safe at first, and Oklahoma came around to score 4 more runs. We're looking at a completely different ball game. If Victor Senna had a different angle on that double play. So Gordon's going to go out there and talk to Grizzard. 2 hits here in the inning for Oklahoma. And 2 well-struck balls into the outfield. Torres barreled up that ball to right field. Just a nice play by Pickle Winker. Sanders waves at the 2-0. Comes up empty. Grizzard toes the rubber, rocks and deals, fouled over towards the Sooner dugout. So another run sitting just feet away over at third base. Can Sydney Sanders put run number 9 on the board for Oklahoma? The 2-2. Down the left field line, but foul. Nice swing, just a hair out in front of it. And now Sanders is going to look to straighten up. Sanders out to deep center field, giving chases. Otis, she looks up and waves. As Sanders leaves the yard, put 2 more on the board for the Sooners as they are coasting at the moment.
These Oklahoma hitters aren't trying to make it close when the ball may or may not leave the fence. That's 2 no-doubters. Similar spots, that one a little more towards the gap But another ball that's just crushed. And a swamp souvenir. Second time that's happened this game.
Sanders' second home run of the season. The transfer from Arizona State hit 21 last year for the Sun Devils, but has been struggling at the plate this year. And that can jumpstart the old confidence. Riley Boone steps in. Boone singled, came around and scored back in the first inning. Takes the 1-0 from Grizzard. And there for a called strike. The rock in the deal. And Boone pops one up in the infield. Alexander's underneath it. Oklahoma scores 3 runs here in the bottom half of the second. They're up 10-1 as we head to the third inning here on Love and Honor Live.
Congratulations.
Oxford, Ohio, the venue. It's the top of the third here at the Miami Invitational. The Sooners up 10-1. Storako in the circle for another inning of work. I'm Reed Mouse. And for the next 3 innings, Luke Westpoli will take you through the game. Luke?
Thanks very much, Reed. 10-1. Sooners out in full control. Top of the third from Oxford. Middle game of our triple header as part of the Miami Softball Invitational in 2023. 9-1-2 hitters coming up for Louisville. Paige Garrity will start things off. Oklahoma, meanwhile, has almost gone through their whole order twice. Riley Boone will lead off in the bottom of the inning, and she will be the 18th to come to the plate for the Sooners. Garrity making her first plate appearance in the 9 spot. Alex Storako back out onto the mound for the Sooners, and she finds the zone on the first pitch. Storako ran into a bit of trouble to start last inning. Back-to-back base runners gave up a run, but was pretty good afterwards. Drew some weak contact, got a strikeout. We'll say no swing as that pitch came up high. So Louisville with 1 run off 1 hit. Oklahoma 10 runs off 11 hits. The 1-1 comes in, and that's over the plate for strike 2. 2 strikeouts thus far for Alex Storako. Was some movement that Reed talked about in the last inning in the Oklahoma bullpen, but this is Storako's game for the time being. 1-2. Flared out into left field, coming in. Boone makes the play, and that's out number 1.
Good job by Storako finding the zone again. She lost a little bit of control in that second inning and paid dividend. It seemed like she might have had to, just to find the strike zone, groove some more pitches, and she's back in control.
That flips the lineup over. Corby Otis popped out to second base her first time up. And she dribbles the first pitch over to third base. Brito fields cleanly and throws on to beat out the speedy Otis by a step. Quick 2 outs here in the top of the third for OU out in the field.
Doesn't get much breezier than that. What a play by Brito. Just nice and smooth, calm and collected. Getting that second out, and Storako back in charge, getting quick outs.
Now lefty swinger Easton Lotus standing in. She popped out to third base her first time up. Gets a piece on the first offering. Starocco has been exceptional at drawing pop-ups to her infield today. She's drawn 4 of them. Also had a weak fly ball out to left field to start this inning. The 0-1. And that's right over the plate for strike 2. Just a couple of minutes have passed since we began this inning. Starocco looking to put an end to the top of the third straight away. Pitch off the plate that time. Starocco, who's had a strikeout in each of the first 2 innings, looking for another here in the third. And pitch. That one comes up high. They're going to peel over to third base, but no swing.
Yeah, she didn't turn her shoulders. The barrel didn't fully come around. It really wasn't a try to swing.
Yeah, it was more of a flinch than anything else with the pitch riding up high. Now the 2-2. And that one drops low in the dirt.
Mentioned Lotus yesterday. 3 for 4, 4 RBIs, 3 runs scored. Had a great day as the Cardinals took care of Miami.
Run rule fashion, 12-4 victory. 3-2. Weakly lifted, shortstop, Lions underneath it, and that's out number 3. As simple as they come, 1, 2, 3 in the top of the third. OU in full control, up 10-1 on Love and Honor Live. Louisville emptying out the bullpen here in the bottom of the third. 4th new arm on the mound for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the third inning. Right-handed freshman Alyssa Zabala takes over in the circle as Cassie Grizzard got through the second inning, and that was it. Now see 4 arms in the circle for the Cards, trailing 10-1 here in the bottom of the third. Riley Boone making her second plate appearance to begin this inning. She is the 18th batter to come to the plate in this game for Oklahoma.
A defensive change also for the Cardinals coming in to play at third base.
Zabala on the season, 2.94 ERA, 81 innings pitched, 69 strikeouts, has walked 21 batters. I wonder if Holly April is just getting work for all of her pitchers against the #1 team in the country, right? Getting ready for any kind of postseason run you might make. Say, hey, this is the best of the best. Let's see how we stack up.
Louisville in the ACC, certainly not a schedule to sneeze at all. As first pitch comes in, it's a called strike. Played ranked Indiana in the midweek, fell in that game, but they are currently the highest team in the ACC standings that is not ranked in the top 25. They sit 4th in the ACC. 0-1 comes up high. The 1-1 pitch. This one fisted up in the air towards short, coming over on it. Hess makes the play. There is a defensive change out in the field for Louisville. Elena Ornelas is now at third base.
Now number 23, Tiara Jennings.
So 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. Jennings watches a first pitch low for ball 1. One 0 pitch misses outside. So 2-0 to Jennings, 1 for 2 on the day. A single and a fly out to center field, the 2-0 pitch. And that one comes down. 3 balls and no strikes. As the ball falls behind. Pitch to Jennings. And not close enough to draw a 3-0 green light, ball 4.
She gets the first batter of the inning out, and then immediately gives up a walk. First time in the ball game that they got the first batter out. Now they got to go back to work.
So Haley Lee coming up to the plate, 1 for 2. The first blast of the game that went over the fence in center field.
It might have went into Yager Stadium.
It might have. On the football concourse right down there. 1-0 pitch on the way, and that one finds the zone, strike 1.
Luke, we talked about this in the pregame. This is the first time that the Oklahoma Sooners have ever played here in the Buckeye State.
Popped up in the air and foul out of play, 1 and 2. Yeah, really interesting, and they obviously travel their fan base well. Tons of Sooner fans here, but not even just in the immediate areas. We're also talking about Reed. We're here in Oxford, but Chatterbox based out in Hamilton. There were Sooner fans about 35 minutes down the road. This one popped up in the air left side, coming back on it from third. Ornelas makes a nice play in the field, and that's out number 2. Second time Lee has popped out to third base. That will bring in a very hot bat, Alyssa Brito, 2 for 2 with a pair of runs scored, a single and a double on the day. Hope Sooner fans have enjoyed their time here in Southwest Ohio and the campus of Miami University. Miami has never met Oklahoma before. They will meet for the first time later today.
Yeah, I mentioned in the preview they said that they have played before, but I think they got mistaken for Miami, Florida.
It happens.
As it said even on the preview, that game took place in Miami, Florida. And when I read the preview, I was like, why was Miami, Ohio down in Florida?
Miami football will play in Miami, Florida against the Hurricanes next fall. That's an interesting one to look forward to. That's a week 1 game on the gridiron.
Southwest Ohio team, the UC Bearcats, will play Oklahoma this year.
They got their spring game today. 0-2 the count to Brito. Runner on first, 2 gone. Brito shimmies into the box and pitch. She takes up high. So Zabala, despite the walk that she looked a little shaky on, has drawn 2 pop-ups and has controlled this at-bat pretty well against Brito, not pitching around her. As I say that, 2 straight balls, and can't put her away just yet. Kinsey Hansen on deck for Oklahoma. Already up 9 here in the bottom of the third. 2-2. And this one lined foul just to the left of the third base bag. And we'll do it again. Count remaining the same. Two. Upstairs, ball 3. So Brito has battled back. And the count is full with 2 outs. Jennings will get a head start. up and in. And a nice at-bat by Brito shows the discipline. No hits yet in the inning for Oklahoma, but 2 walks. And we have seen so far in this game, Reed, when you play around with this lineup, they tend to punch back pretty hard.
Yeah, that was a great at-bat by Brito. Working the count, continuously just being a tough out there. That's what these Sooners do so well, is they just work at bats. And when they get a chance to hit, they come out slugging.
First pitch finds the outside corner for strike 1 to Kinsey Hansen. A pair of base hits for her in the game, playing behind the plate for the Sooners. Takes a big hack at the 0-1, and the runner hung out to dry at first base. The back pick works out. We saw Gordon go after that in the last inning, and this time able to catch Brito off the first base bag. That's the 3rd out of the inning. First scoreless inning for OU at the plate. They still lead by a comfortable margin, 10-1. We head to the 4th on Love and Honor Live. Top of the 4th inning from Oxford with West Poley, Reed Mouse, producer Casey McAllister, our entire crew at Love and Honor Live. Thanks so much for joining us, breaking records, doing lots of great things here at the Miami Softball Invitational tournament that has clearly drawn a lot of eyes. Oklahoma in full control of this game. They will face off against the 3-4-5 hitters of the Louisville order. Pretty cool tournament that Kieran Kumar and the Miami staff were able to schedule and put together. Some pretty legit teams coming in with obviously the 2-time defending national champions. You draw a team out of the ACC that's been competitive in that conference. Miami, who's dominated the MAC the last couple of years, and then also Oakland, who's the other team here as well that the Redhawks saw in Game 1. Favorites to win the Horizon League this season.
They're the reigning Horizon champs. So
Defensive changes.
very good competitive play here. The Sooners not making it look competitive at the moment, winning 10-1. You mentioned breaking records. Let's see if we can break a new record. See if we can get that likes over 1,000. Why not?
First batter for Louisville. It's the first baseman, Hannah File.
Hannah File leading off for the Cardinals in a 10-1 game. Her team trailing. And the first pitch on the way comes to Rocco's in there for strike 1. It's been interesting. Now we've seen 2 pretty sizable blowouts of this tournament, bookending a 1-0 game that you talked about, Reed, we saw earlier on today between Miami and Oakland. The 0-1 snapped outside. That game didn't have a run until bottom of the 6th inning on a ball that for the Redhawks, Riley Coyne hit very softly and just floated it out to the most shallow part of right field to win it for the Redhawks. 1-1, and File grounds it sharply over to third. That's past the glove of Brito into left field for a base hit. So File aboard for the first time. And Louisville, after going down 1-2-3 in the last inning, looking to return to form here in the 4th.
Yeah, really good at bat there from Thom. She's got such a smooth swing. We saw her first at bat. She went down swinging on strikes, but put together just quality swing after quality swing, getting the better of Starocco right there.
And the first pitch in finds the zone for strike one to Taylor Roby. Designated player who also pitched in this game, went 2/3 of an inning to close out the first. Oh, 1 reaches for it off the end of the bat. It's caught by Sanders. A nice play that time as she comes over on it to get to that line drive. Off the end of the bat. Good spin on that one from Roby as well. Made that one a little more difficult than it might have initially looked. And there's 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning. We are going to get an infield meeting for the Sooners and a new arm in the circle. Alex Starocco with a pretty solid outing as she goes 3 1/3. And we'll have a new arm to talk about when we come back for Oklahoma. 10-1 Sooners here in the 4th. (10-1) Oklahoma, top 4, 1 out. Runner on first for Louisville, and Alex Starocco, as her day ended, close to 50 pitches on the day. She goes 3 1/3, gives up just 1 run off 2 hits, is responsible for that runner on first base. That's Hannah File, who had 1 of the 2 base knocks that Louisville has had. For Kirsten Deal, 1.19 ERA on the season, 9th appearance in relief. She's also started 3 games. 17 2/3 innings pitched. 3 earned runs, 8 walks, 22 strikeouts.
Once again, the batter, number 2, Sarah
Deal,
Gordon.
the freshman left-hander out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Has some words for her middle infield as she gets ready. Number 1 player in her class. Class of 2022. True freshman. First pitch on the way, and this one is hit high in the air out to right field. And that ball's going to drop as it's lost in the sun by Torres. Tries to throw to second to get the force, but File with some good base running to get there in time. You could call that a miscue maybe, but just a tough one with the sun for Torres to deal with. And that drops in for a base hit.
Yeah, Gordon just skied one out there, and you saw Torres out there in right field. She looked camped underneath it. That sun beaming on her. And just never seen a ball drop just so casually, I guess. Typically when the sun gets in your eyes, you're waving, you're looking around like, I don't know where it's at. But
and she now goes and gets a pair of sunglasses. So a mid-game adjustment. Someone came out of the dugout for Oklahoma. That was Jocelyn Erickson. Came out over to right field to hand her a pair of sunglasses. Trying them out, she looked directly at the sun just a moment ago just to check, make sure they work. First and second, 1 out. Daisy Hess at the plate takes ball 1. 1-0 and the pitch on the way. That skies up high. 2 balls and no strikes. So for Deal, that's a really tough break as she drew what should have been a fly out to right. Now she's in a bit of a jam here. First and second, 1 out.
And see if Hess can make the most of it. See if Louisville can make the most of it. Find a barrel, get a couple runs in, get back in this.
2-0, and that is right down the heart of the plate. Two balls and 1 strike. Hess is 0 for 1 with a ground out to short in her lone at bat. Swung on and missed. 2-1. Turns into a 2-2. She climbs back in. First and second, 1 out. And the pitch, and Hess goes chasing.
Great comeback there by Deal. Just peppering the strike zone and makes Hess just a challenging pitch. Gives her the heat up. Hess can't catch up.
Third baseman.
Just flipped a switch, it seemed like, halfway through that at-bat. For a freshman, the mentality to be able to just regather yourself mid-at-bat and come back with a strikeout like that, pretty remarkable. Allie Alexander at the plate. She popped out to second base her first time up. Or rather, we have a pinch hitter for Louisville. It's Ornelas as she fouls it up into the screen. Came on defensively in the last inning. Elena Ornelas, the senior infielder.
244 hitter. 24th appearance this year. 6 RBIs. Would love to get number 7 in the form of File out there at second base.
1-1. This is up high. 2 balls, 1 strike. In order to avoid the run rule, Louisville would need at least 2 runs for the end of the next inning. 2-1. Popped up and away. 2-2. And with the way that Oklahoma has pitched so far in this game, first and second might be one of the best opportunities they're going to get, driving in 2 runs. Count, though, 2-2 to Ornelas. Deal gets her pitch. Foul back. Great name for a pitcher, by the way. Deal. Love that.
Your lineage.
Born to be a pitcher.
Right, born. Destiny.
2-2. Off the plate. Tried the heat. That was a similar pitch to the strikeout offering to Daisy Hess in the last at bat. But Ornelas stays steadfast in the box. Runners will be off with the pitch. 3-2. And this one softly hit out towards second, backing up. Jennings makes the catch for out number 3. Kirsten Deal coming on in relief at first and second, but gets out scoreless. OU continuing to roll as we head to the home half of the 4th.
You know, never is
Bottom four here from Oxford, 10-1 OU over UL. And our middle game of the triple header here from the Miami Softball Stadium. Very, very packed house on hand. Temporary seating brought in beyond the fences of the stadium. This is, I'm sure, the largest crowd this stadium has seen in its history.
When they sold tickets, they sold out in 10 minutes. I was talking with someone who works here at Miami, and they mentioned how someone drove all the way from California to come to this invitation.
Kinsey Hansen leading off for OU. And the first pitch falls low and in for ball one. Admission is generally free to Miami regular season games, but this obviously is very, very different than an average MAC series. It's the 1-0, misses down low, 2 balls, no strikes. Redhawks will be in action against these Oklahoma Sooners in the nightcap following this one, scheduled right now for 7 p.m. under the lights. 2-0 pitch popped up softly right in front of the circle. The play is made by Zabala, who's been very good in relief. The new pitcher that came in the last inning for Louisville. And she makes the catch for out number 1. We'll get a pinch hitter here for Oklahoma. In the spot of Grace Lyons, it's going to be Sophia Nugent, right-handed swinger that will stand in instead.
The pinch hitter for the Sooners at the plate now, number 17, Sophia Nugent.
Nugent on the season, a .302 hitter, 33rd appearance. She's got 13 hits and 43 at-bats. She's left the yard 6 times.
And the first pitch finds the zone for strike 1. Addie Gasso just has a team full of options. You're bringing hitters over 300 in terms of average off the bench. That's a pretty good sign. 0-1. And that's over the plate as well. Zabala has not been phased at all by these hitters.
Lots of smiles out there. You keep seeing her look over to the Louisville dugout. She's playing with a good bit of pace, having fun.
0-2, just a piece from Nugent. Got it off the end of the bat. So 0-2 with the bases empty to Sophia Nugent, the pinch hitter. Grace Lyons, 1 for 2 in that spot. This one grounded over to third base, waiting on it. Ornelas throws across, and it's in plenty of time for the out.
Nice job by Ornelas. Takes 2 shuffled towards the third base line. Gets her legs underneath her. Throws a strike over to first, and it's a quick 1-2 outs.
Number 7,
And the 4th inning for Louisville.
Oklahoma has not gone down in order yet in this game. The first scoreless inning was the bottom of the 3rd, but they had 2 base runners. Swing and a miss on the first pitch. So we've got another new bat in there. Jocelyn Erickson in for Alina Torres. As the 0-1 misses to Erickson. So back-to-back new batters for the Sooners in full control of this game. As the 1-1 is down for ball 2. They haven't had a hit since the 2nd inning. As their base runners in the last inning and the 3rd were both walks. Base is empty, 2 outs. 2-1 count to Erickson in the pitch. This one twisted on foul up the right side. And the count makes its way to 2-2.
Yeah, Zabala's been so sharp out of the bullpen. I mean, if you're Coach April, you got to love what you're seeing from your arm right now.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Erickson. That one misses for ball 3. So Zabala, who did have a little bit of command issue in the last inning, was able to get her way out of it. Now in a 3-ball count. This one, though, pushed to the opposite side, and Ornelas plays it on to first for the second straight ground out to third. That retires the side in the bottom of the 4th. We've gone 2 full innings without a run, still 10-1 as we head to the 5th. Louisville needs a run when we come back on Love and Honor Live.
Of today's Miami softball.
(10-1) Oklahoma, top of the 5th here from Oxford. The Sooners have made their way out of the dugout. It's all smiles from OU as they have made their way to the Buckeye State for the first time. And a pretty ideal start to their time here in Southwest Ohio. Avery Hodge moving to second base for Oklahoma, as Coach Gasso empties her bench. Louisville, in order to avoid the run rule, needs 2 runs here. This one is technically the 3rd game of the Miami Softball Invitational, as one was played yesterday down in Louisville with the Cardinals taking down Miami. And this is on pace to be the 2nd run rule unless Louisville can avoid it. First pitch to Winkler is fouled up into the screen.
And the batter is right fielder Pickle Winkler.
Pickle Winkler 0 for 1 with a strikeout. And so it's 0-1 to the left-handed swinger, lefty on lefty. The 0-1 fired in, misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike. He will carry game 3 of this set here on this Saturday Miami Softball Invitational Oxford finale, as the 1-1 comes in, waved at and missed for strike 2. Louisville and Oakland will meet tomorrow on UL's campus for a doubleheader. And the final games involving teams here this weekend, but it won't be on site in Oxford. It'll be down in the loop. 1-2 misses inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And we got Miami versus Oklahoma at 7 p.m. Different kind of OU than Miami's used to playing.
Yes. The 2-2 to Winkler. Taken low for ball 3. Of course, OU, as Reed referring to around these parts, means Ohio University, which is, you could argue, Miami's arch rival. Some would say it's the University of Cincinnati. Some would say it's Ohio U. (3-2). Taken sky high out into left center field. Coleman backtracking, short of the warning track. She makes the one-handed catch for out number 1. Excited for the first ever meeting between Miami and Oklahoma on the softball field. Two teams that don't necessarily cross paths very much.
The other defensive changes for the Sooners. At shortstop.
Another pinch hitter coming in for Louisville. Michaela Hurst will bat
Number 23
for Paige Garrity.
A pinch hitter for Louisville. At the plate, number 24, Michaela Hurst.
Once again, Louisville on their last legs, needing at least 2 runs. First pitch misses down low for ball 1. When she's getting ready to throw, I want to say deals, but it just doesn't sound right.
I keep going back to that play back in that first inning, Luke. That double play that allowed
It's a tough one.
Oklahoma to score 4 more runs. This game has a completely different complexion. And they turned that double play.
Pitch misses up high for ball 2. It was a great play. Grounded up to the pitcher to go home, get the out, prevent the run from scoring, and then you go to first. And like you said, it didn't get the call and didn't end the inning. Oklahoma brings in some more runs, and this game just really felt out of reach. This one popped up in the air behind home and out of play to make it 2-1. Seven runs in that bottom of the first inning for OU. One cut on and missed. A sword that time from Hurst, who didn't go all the way around with the swing.
And decision there at the plate. It's tough coming off the bench. You know, come off the bench and you got to get your head in the game. Those kind of check swings that come with the territory.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Up high that time. And Deal just rising one above the zone that Hurst chases at.
Number 33, Corby
That flips the lineup
Lewis.
over, and the Cardinals are down to their final out. First pitch to Corby Otis is up high for ball 1. Otis is 0 for 2 with a pop out to second base and a ground out to third. This top of the order struggle a little bit to reach base. It's been the middle that has done the majority of the work for Louisville. The 1-0 misses outside. 2, 3, and 4 hitters, File, Roby, and Gordon. The 3 that have reached base for the Cardinals. But the bottom 4 and the top 2 for Louisville have all failed to reach base. All right, above the shoulders for ball 3. Get a green light here, Reed?
Why not? 3-0, top of the order. Get a chance to hit. You got only 3 hits in the ball game. Facing a true freshman. Go ahead, take a hack at it.
Red light was on, but it's because potentially it was ball 4. So Otis aboard for the first time. That brings in Easton Lotus.
Easton Lotus.
2 pop outs to the left side of the infield for her in this game. Louisville with 1 run off 3 hits. Had 1 hit in the second and 2 in the fourth. For Oklahoma, 10 runs off 11 hits. They had 8 hits in the first, 3 in the second.
Been a quiet previous few innings, hasn't it?
It has.
Zabala came in for Louisville and did a fantastic job out of the bullpen, and Deal's doing a nice job here for Oklahoma.
And the first pitch is lifted out into center. Coleman didn't get a great read as she was backing up, but she does come in and make the play. And that is out number 3. And that will do it here for the top of the 5th inning, and that will do it for the game. Oklahoma with a run rule victory to take it 10-1 is the final score as the Sooners open up the Red Hawk Invitational with a bang and a run rule victory over an ACC opponent. Reed, this was everything we expected and more from this Oklahoma team. They showed out, certainly brought everything they brought over these last few seasons to Oxford. And a 10-1 win, very characteristic of what we expected from this Sooner team coming into this one.
Yeah, they did just everything well, right? They fielded the ball well. When they had runners in scoring position, they got them in. Consistently putting the barrel on the ball, had a couple home runs, and boy, oh boy, was that Haley Lee home run a home run. That thing still might be traveling. But all around, great win there for Oklahoma. They're going to go back at it in about an hour.
And so 10-1 is your final score. We will be back for the nightcap as Miami takes on Oklahoma, the hosts, against the top-ranked team in the nation. Thanks so much for tuning in here to this second game. We hope to see you again tonight for Miami and Oklahoma. Until then, for Reed Mouse, Casey McAllister, our producer, and our entire crew here at Love and Honor Live. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. 10-1, your final Sooners win.